Hey guys, I made a video on this camera already. Supposedly, this camera didn't work. But what if I was wrong about it? I'm willing to give it another chance, a second chance. But before I do that, I'm gonna tell you that as a company, how dare you not put information about the power anywhere on the camera? As you see on the box, nowhere does it say if it's made for Europe, if it's made for North America, if it's made for Japan, if it's made for China, or anywhere. Do you see anywhere if it's 110 volt or 220 volts? No, it does not. Well, let me open it up. This one is supposedly good working one. On the manual, very vaguely it mentions, but it's not for this camera. And let me show you what I mean by that. It was somewhere right here. Let me just find it real quick. Here. Device boot, but it's not for this camera. As it says here, it says connect device to 110 or to 240 volts power supply with the equipped USB cable. Where's the USB cable? This manual is not even for this camera. It's just generically printed for something else, and the company just, oh yeah, it's a good idea, let's just toss it with this camera. It doesn't matter that somebody may burn down their entire house. That should be fine. That should be fine, right? No, that's not fine. I don't even care what's in the box anymore. I'm gonna take this out. Let's check around the camera. Where's that USB? Because I've been looking for it. Here. This is the SD card slot. This is the reset button. These are the LEDs / IR blasters. This is the camera. This is nothing, just a piece of plastic around the body. There is nowhere USB. So 110 to 240 volts. So these sockets are universal, almost worldwide. But if your lamp is made for 110 volts and you plug it in 240 volt socket, first of all, if your switch doesn't fall, if your safe doesn't fall, this will start melting slowly, if not right away. And if it starts melting slowly, you are very, very unlucky because this will possibly burn your building. On the other hand, if this is made for 240 or 220 volts, and I am in North America, here we have 110 volts inside the house. And believe it or not, in order, except for adding converters that you can buy, pieces of blocks and all that, transformers, instead of adding those, believe it or not, you'll have to add one of these in North America for 240 volt device to work. So is it worth it for me to wire an entire house throughout the house to get 220 to 240 volts? No, it's not. Because these are two pieces inside that are 110 volts each. But when you connect together on the bar, that's when you get 240 volts. And no, I'm not willing to do that because this camera is not worth that. So far, so wrong. And no, I'm not gonna put it to the tester again. This time, I'm gonna open it in pieces and try to connect the camera alone. The camera alone. And let's go ahead, do just that, and see if there is something that's worth giving this camera a second chance. Because definitely we did not read it wrong. Because I had this conversation with a few of my friends that a lot of people bought this camera in North America right here, and we all got the same results. Somehow, some reported that the network started acting up, and some others reported that straight up it would not even connect. There was no way to connect it. Well, today, in this video, we are gonna try just that and see if we missed something, or did the company miss something. It doesn't make sense at this point, but hey, we are stuck with them now. We bought them. I'm not stuck with them because I don't use this company. I use several companies, by the way, which some of them offered the camera. Some of them I bought with my own money. It's just some of these companies just don't care that you can actually burn down your entire building for a camera. That's not right. That is not right. Okay, let me see if we can take this out of here. Let me take the speaker out first. Okay. And no, if you're wondering if I'm pissed, I'm not really pissed. I'm more disappointed that somebody has such a bad, sour humor that could be detrimental to someone else's life or livelihood. That's not cool. That is not cool at all. Because people work and people spend their lives to earn what they have and what they built. And just because of a careless company that just are too lazy to put on a box, or the manual, the actual information for this one. How do you put it on this manual? Connect the proper USB, and you know what that means, 120 to 240, yeah? They mean to connect from one of these. The USB cable, boom, to the camera. But even on the pictures here in the box, none of the cameras are USB-powered cameras. Seriously. This is a serious matter. This is not a joke at all. And if somebody has this kind of humor, you gotta tone it down or write somewhere it's a joke. Put it on the box. Okay, this box is a prank. Take it at your own risk. Then it's okay, I would understand it. I can take a joke, but not this way. Okay, this is the speaker. This is the module itself. This is one of the motors. It's gonna go there on the side. I don't think I will need it anymore. Okay, looks like we have another screw here. Okay, let me take, there's nothing else on this one here. That's just part of the body. Here we have another motor. I don't think I'm gonna use this motor. I'm just gonna take it out of there because I want to. Okay, another one here. And the motor is out. Okay, so this board does not seem to have any screws. Okay, this is a power input. Okay, so look at the safety that we're talking about here. Okay, just strictly from the socket here. Boom, soldered, and just comes to the board with tiny wires that are probably a little bit thinner than regular charger wires, but hey, who am I to judge, right? Okay, here's the board, very advanced, and okay, look at that. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. What is it rated for right there? AC, it says 220 up to 200, either 60 or 80 volts input. So in North America, you're not going to be able to connect this one otherwise, but add in one of these big bulky things to your box. Do you see what I was saying? Exactly what I expected. This is not even rated for North America, yet it's being sold all around North America without a single warning on the Amazon listing or Alibaba or whatever those sites are, without telling us that's not even rated for our country at all. It just doesn't work here. Wow, this is very interesting. Okay, DC out. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this one, I am assuming this would go not more than 5.5 volts. What's this one? 10 volts. Okay, and it should come from 100 something here. 400, 4.7 picofarad. Okay, yeah, I think it should be fine with 5 volts. Let me put it on the side. Let me take this board out of here. This is what I'm saying with be careful what you buy online. See, I even took the wrong screw here. Be careful when you buy stuff online when it's not properly labeled and it doesn't have the proper information on it. You don't need to be a technician. You don't need to be an engineer. You just need to be a regular consumer like all of us that takes part in society like all of us and just needs to know a bit more information. Okay, I guess I could leave this one here. I'm gonna leave it there. This one, just so LEDs, if it works, it has part of the discharge here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is this one. Look at that. The power supposedly goes in here. It just has, for the antenna here, 5 volts and ground. 2 pins, 5 volts and ground. And when you see at the at the input cable here, it's just 2 wires. But it's made for 3 pins. Care to details, right? A lot of care to details. I'm going to connect it as is anyway. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to snap this wire right here and connect it directly to 5 volts and see what happens. Yes, I'm supposed to have a wire stripper. And I have no idea where it is. So I'm just going to go with a knife like I've done all my life. I don't think it's gonna make a big difference this time. And no, I'm not being harsh on this company, but in general to any company, please think sometimes that when people buy your product, assume yourself in place of the people that buy your product. How would you install it if you did not make this one and you were just seeing this for the first time and there's no information about it, but you are willing to sell it internationally? How would you install it when you know that different countries and different regions have different ratings, different voltage, and all that stuff? Please, how would you go around on doing that? Or just expect people to guess it right? Sometimes we put the speaker so we can probably hear something. Okay, enough with me complaining about it. Here I have just an old charger that I've stripped and I use it a lot for testing. It's an old Motorola. It's 5 volts, 550 milliamps. Should be more than enough for this one. It shouldn't be that high power because it's not a 4K or anything. And polarity, I'm just gonna go with whatever I have. Okay, so we saw some kind of light go in there and I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, let's hit reset and maybe that does something. Okay, we heard some sound and oh, so now it's looking like it wants to turn on at least. Okay, I just downloaded the app. Let me see if JXL. As you see, there's 0 cameras because I haven't been able to install any of them. Add cameras manually. Oh, another thing. It didn't come with any UID or whatever you want to call that, or any scanning code or any of that at all. So there's no way to add the camera manually, even if I wanted to. Okay, now let me see if it connects. Of course, it's asking me for location. Okay, I'm gonna add the password real quick. And now it says add this camera as its own wireless. It's supposed to have at least. That's what it says here. Checking quality, connect only this time, obviously. Without internet because we don't have it. Okay, so I'm gonna see if it connects this time. Oh, now the camera said okay. I don't understand what that means exactly, but it said okay. And I hope that means it's connected, but the bar is still moving. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Right there, it goes in and out. I guess I'm just gonna give it a minute to make sure that I'm not rushing it or something. Okay, it's been over 35 minutes, and yes, it's still connected, but it's not saying finished or anything. I'm just gonna go back and switch my connection. And let's see. Okay, connection is done. We go here. It should be connected by now. Go back. Okay, and it says 0 cameras again. Okay, so this camera to some point works in so-called AP mode, as you see my hand here. And yes, it kind of works. There's too many lights right now, I know. It's not gonna be easy to see anything. But then AP mode, it works. What AP mode is that it will work only in the distance of maybe 10 feet or if not less from the camera itself physically. So your phone connects to a access point that the camera creates, and that's the only way that's connecting so far. I tried several times to make it work with just regular as a regular camera, and there's no way to put the UID to have the camera network because there is no barcode anywhere to scan and there is no UID number. Now, there's one UID number that you could possibly type in, and that's supposed to be the Wi-Fi name, and I tried that and it still does not work. So my conclusion on this camera is stay away from it. Seriously, stay away from it because it doesn't work. And I'm gonna try it again with a so-called BCC mode, whatever they mean with that, and I'm gonna add it manually. And the number I have here is supposed to be the number, and let me add it and see where that goes. And now let's see if it connects with a BCCA on this way. It says connecting. I'm not sure how long it will stay in that way saying connecting, but we can only wait and see. I guess that's the only thing left for us, because if I click on it, obviously it's not gonna open the camera because it's still connecting. So we'll see. I am willing to give it just a few minutes and see where it goes. And if I hit here, let me connect my secondary network, which is supposed to, and see if that helps. Okay, and it's connected at this point. Okay, invalid ID it says now. That is very interesting. Obviously, we don't have anything here. If I refresh, nothing. So it just says invalid ID and absolutely nothing else. So let me add the camera again, now on my network, to give it really the best chance ever. Okay, and as you see, invalid ID again, which I know this is supposed to be the ID for this camera, but unfortunately it doesn't work. That's just the reality, and I reset it, I reconnected it, I did everything possible, and for the second time, in a completely different way, this camera is a failure, and I myself will stay very far away from it until they either change or they do something about this item, about this device. Because as it stands, it's definitely a hazard, it's risky, and I just don't trust it. And even if I did trust it, there's no way to connect it. So with that said, I think it's very safe to say that this camera is a failure. And this is an item you should stay away from. And with that said, I hope you learned something from this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!